You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Behind the back! Are you serious? No hesitation on the shot. Mizrahi's feeling it. Make it 3 for 3. And Ciolino, see you later. Here's a chance for Sias, and then there's a shot and a goal. Will Spare will take it all the way. Touchdown Seahawks. The extra look and the goal. A gorgeous goal line. From the Mac Sports Complex on the campus of Hofstra University, Varsity Media presents the CHSAA Class AA Championship, featuring familiar rivals in an unfamiliar setting as the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes take on the Crusaders of Stepinac. This game is presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. Dylan Butler, super excited and proud to bring in someone who's seen a lot of these Catholic championship games. Mike Quick, but generally it's a Sunday afternoon. We're up at Fordham. It's daylight savings time, right? We've sprung ahead. A little bit of a different look here for two teams, obviously, as we said in the open, know each other very well.
Feels different. There's nothing like that second Sunday in March. 3 o'clock tip-off at Rose Hill. Back in the days, they'd have the all-star game there, and Jack Alisi from Zavarian would be there at 1 o'clock, and the kids are running up and down the floor, and Jack is trying to figure out how he's going to get over to Arthur Avenue after the game. Little different feel here today, but Dill, two teams, I think there were 3 teams all year when you look at the Catholic Basketball League that you thought would be here. 2 of them are here. The other one, St. Francis Prep. I think the fact that St. Francis Prep was talked about so much this year, where a lot of people thought it was going to be Prep and Cardinal Hayes, that kind of fueled Stepinac. They truly felt like they were the forgotten one, the third out of the 2, and once they hit that Archdiocesan championship game where they played this Cardinal Hayes team in one of the worst basketball games I've ever seen, let's face it, 51-40, and we'll talk about that. Stepinac won it, but they kind of felt like they were the forgotten of the big 3. They thought there was a big 2, and they used that in this playoff run to be like, hey, what about us? That's what we do.
Round 4 of this battle between these rivals. The first round was a Friday night, a sold-out crowd over at Cardinal Hayes, where the Cardinals drew first blood, 70-67, really introduced themselves or kind of lived up to that preseason hype that they had, and then up in White Plains, Stepinac bounced right back, and they won that one. Round 3, as you just mentioned, right? Archdiocesan championship game where Stepinac won their 3rd Archdiocesan title, and this now is round 4.
Well, you think about it, so it's 2-1 Stepinac coming to the championship game. If you look at that first meeting, 3rd game of the season, Gibbs right there has an in and out, down to 28 seconds left. Rebound goes to Carbuccia. He goes up, in and out, falls off. Alexander gets the rebound. Shot no good. They had 3 looks at 28 seconds. They end up losing the game. So if you look at this Stepinac team, they have 3 losses by a total of 6 points. They're on a 14-game winning streak. And when you talk to Loads, I was over at practice yesterday, and when you talk to Coach Loads, I said, keys to the game, man. What do you do, Coach? He goes, and we just have to hope they're due for a loss. That's his key to the game. As only Loads can.
He keeps it loose, does Joe Loads.
Sure does.
But yeah, listen, Cardinal Hayes is the hottest team. Stepinac is the hottest team right now. Hayes was the hottest team in the regular season. They had a 15-game winning streak snapped by Stepinac up there in White Plains. So again, it makes it interesting, certainly the matchups. You mentioned Gibbs, and we'll take a look at our impact players, right? And look, he was phenomenal that first game. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. I kind of feel like, well, here's Tobe Awaka for Cardinal Hayes. Look, you feed the big man. You give it to him. He's the player of the year in the Catholic League for a reason. there is no team that has an Awaka other than Cardinal Hayes.
And I think, a guy coming off 28 points and 22 rebounds, a school record 22 rebounds in the semifinal win over St. Francis Prep. Believe it or not, you're gonna think I'm crazy. Stepinac is going to come and defend him tonight. I think the key for the big fella is when he gets the ball down on the block to get it back out every once in a while so not everybody can collapse. Kind of eats the basketball at times. He forgets he has 3 guys collapsing, guys with open looks. I think that's going to be a big key to tonight's game. Does the big fella share the basketball? Now, with that said, I think 3 out of every 4 trips down the floor, he's got to touch the basketball.
He does, and I think they have to work inside out rather than outside in. They've played all season on the perimeter with Awaka kind of cleaning up inside. He's got to get those touches to allow those guys outside to do their job. For Stepinac, as we were mentioning, that first game, Sam Gibbs was amazing. Look, the Cardinal Hayes crowd was on him all game long, right? They were giving him the business, but 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. His season high this year was that game at Hayes. He likes this bright spotlight.
He likes to play Cardinal Hayes, too. 2 of his, that was his best game. His second best game could have been when they beat him to snap the 15-game winning streak. Plays well in big moments, and he should. He's a 4-year starter for Stepinac. He's missed 1 start in his entire career. That was on senior night against St. Francis Prep. And he said to Coach, you don't have to play me. You don't have to start me tonight. So his only miss was to make sure another senior got in there. This is a cat who ran in the backcourt for 2 years with R.J. Davis, who tonight is over in Brooklyn leading North Carolina in the playoffs, in the ACC playoffs. So he's a guy, and believe me, Joe Lodes is terrified of him. He goes, you know how to defend other players. It's hard to defend experience. And I thought that was a great quote by Coach Lodes. He has the ultimate respect for Sam Gibbs.
And also Gibbs at 6'3", he could do so much, right? He's unselfish. He could battle inside, get the rebounds. He obviously scores the basketball as well. So in terms of that, on this level, is a 3-tool, 5-tool, whatever tools you want to bring, he's bringing it all.
Well, he's got a tool, and he's also got that thing where you can hammer, too, because when he speaks, his teammates listen. This is his team and Baez's team when it comes to guys who are the leaders on the basketball team. Not the best scorers, not the best players, but leaders. Gibbs and Baez, they team up to make sure everybody... Listen, Coach Massaroni said, our coaches could leave practice and Gibbs could run this practice like it's no problem. That's why these colleges, and we'll get into it, they're all missing out on this guy because he is a difference maker and he makes you better the day he steps on your college campus.
Let's take a look at the road here in terms of the bracket and the matchups and how both teams got here. Of course, they got here by playing here.
Sure.
Every round has been here. But in the quarterfinals, Stepinac 73-57 over St. Raymond's. An incredible performance on that afternoon by Boogie Fland.
And Boogie Fland, and I think the defense was just suffocating. Pat Massaroni said this is the best defense he's had in his 7 years as the head coach for the White Plains School. We're long, we got length, we defend, we on-ball defend. That first half, I truly believe, was a perfect half of basketball in the quarterfinals.
And offensively, I'm not sure Boogie Fland could have done better than he did. 33 points, including 6 of 7 from 3, 7 rebounds. Isaiah Alexander, he's a guy we're going to talk about here a lot because he finds a way, especially 2 against Hayes. He'll get a double-double. He'll impact the game in a big way. It was huge in this entire road to the finals. In the semifinals as well, had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks in the quarterfinals. He's another guy who loves playing Cardinal Hayes.
And you need to. On nights like this, you gotta be able to find that third guy. And I don't want to say he's the third guy, but in a game like this, you're thinking Gibbs, you're thinking Boogie. Alexander's got to have a big game if they're going to win tonight.
Cardinal Hayes defeated a young Christ the King team. That's a team that will be in the mix next year.
Yeah, but
There's
Christ
no
the
doubt.
King shouldn't be losing a quarterfinal Catholic League basketball game by almost 30 points.
Fair.
I'm watching the game and I'm trying to think, and I'm talking to Johnny Perez, third member of our team tonight, and I'm asking you, when is the last time that Christ the King lost by that much in the quarterfinals? Christ the King, forget it, usually doesn't lose in the quarterfinals. Yeah. They're usually playing in a championship game. So there, to me, Christ the King is the interesting team in the Catholic League next year.
I agree with that. 70-47, as you mentioned. Big game for Ian Jackson, 26 points. Tobey Owaka with 17. And then the semifinals, obviously that great matchup with St. Francis Prep where Hayes got out early. Prep made a run there in the fourth. They got within 6. but they were a little bit out of gas at that point. The length of Cardinal Hayes was a difference. Ian Jackson, 14. Elijah Moore, he's that third guy you mentioned. You need him in this kind of game. Tobe Awaka, again, was that beast in that one with 28 points, 22 rebounds. So that's how these two teams got here to Hofstra. Now, the physical getting here to Hofstra today, a little bit more interesting, right? And for that, we bring in our third member of our broadcast crew, John Perez, with a little bit of the journey today for both of these teams.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned how familiar or unfamiliar it is actually coming to Hofstra now as opposed to the old stomping grounds. At Rosehill for Cardinal Hayes, it was a 15-minute drive. For Stepinac, probably about 25 minutes if they didn't get stuck at the toll booth. But now both of these teams are coming out to Hempstead. So let's start with Stepinac and their itinerary today. They left campus at 9 a.m. today to get here for 10 o'clock. Got to Hofstra, 10 o'clock. 10:30 was shoot around until 11:30 afterwards. They shower, go back to the Marriott, which is about a mile away from here, have about 4 hours from 12:15 to 4 o'clock, so give that 3:45, of just relaxing, watching basketball, spending time together, the camaraderie building between everybody else. After 4 o'clock, time for a team meal. They left around 6:15 to get back to the gym here, and that's where they've been since then. Meanwhile, Cardinal Hayes, Joe Loads keeps it simple. They rolled in at 6 o'clock. Ain't no problem. But the one thing that I do want to ask the two of you is, Mike, Stepinac came out onto the floor with 63 minutes to go, didn't go back into the locker room until the 13-minute mark, and Pat Massaroni knows way more, is going to forget more basketball than I'll ever know, but that's a long time to be out on the court. Guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
JP, I think it's a legit question. I think both teams are going to come out flat. I think the travel got into their heads. I think Stepinac being so close got over here so early. They've been out here just shooting for upwards of 90 minutes. Listen, you know, a lot of games when the high school games were at the Garden back in the day, people come out, sight lines different. I think they're just going to be a little tired. I think it's a false positive that they've been on the floor this long.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, and we'll see how that works out. Two archdiocesan teams taking on each other. We don't know. We were kind of going through it before we came on the air, but you look back a little bit like Rice, St. Ray's, right? Yeah. And what a great rivalry that was back in the day, right? Felipe and for Rice. You were at those games. You have the highlights. You see a baseline there watching some of the best basketball.
And you see the Dominican Dream. So much of the Dominican Dream was Rice versus St. Ray's. Felipe, Kareem Reed. You know, I know people talk about Boogie and they talk about, you know, Ian Jackson. Those guys aren't in Kareem Reed's league. They're not in Felipe Lopez's league. They got a long way to go. This is not the Catholic League of old. Come on, guys, you got to earn it first. And those matchups, you couldn't. Let's put it this way. If back in 1994, the Catholic League Championship, Rice St. Ray's, if you put it at Hofstra, 8 o'clock tip tonight, they would have closed this gym at 5 o'clock because this thing would have been packed. It was a different era. Players were much better back then. They played much harder. There was a purpose to playing a game of basketball. And that's why the era of the Catholic League is a little different today than it was in the past, because those guys competed every single second.
Now, you could make the argument that Rice closing, and what a sad day that was in Harlem throughout the entire city. But that created an opportunity, and I think Cardinal Hayes walked through that door of opportunity. One, you're getting those kind of players as well, but now the landscape of the Catholic League, especially Archdiocese, changes, right? It's not just the Rice St. Ray's anymore. Now you're bringing Cardinal Hayes, you're bringing Archbishop Stepinac, you bring in Mount St. Michael and Iona Prep.
Sure.
These are teams that were always part of the A, but now they're in the Double A, and I think it's made for a more competitive and a deeper Double A.
Yeah, listen. You know, I know that 5 teams from the Brooklyn Queens side got into the quarterfinals. The strength of the Catholic League this year was on the New York side. There's no question about it. No doubt whatsoever. St. Francis Prep was the team on the Brooklyn Queens side that all year they were kind of benchmarked for this game until they ran into Cardinal Hayes in the semifinals.
It is Cardinal Hayes. It is Archbishop Stepinac, the Catholic AA title on the line. Opening tip and starters when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Woodland's goal! Ryan Woodland!
Behind the back shot for Connolly, and that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss. Look at a cut to the cage, and a sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save, rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to the Mac Sports Complex. Dylan Butler, Mike Quick, John Perez here for the Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship game. Just about set for the opening tip. Let's meet our starters. First for Cardinal Hayes.
Number 11, Ian Jackson, class of 2024.
Number 5, DJ Victory, class of 2022.
Number 1, Elijah Moore, class of 2024.
Number 21, Tree Foster, class of 2022. Number 00, Toby Walker, class of 2022, Player of the Year.
Joe Lodes, head coach, Cardinal Hayes, Cardinal basketball, NYU, class of 1998.
Joe Lodes is dissing the alma mater, St. Francis Prep. He goes NYU there. I think he wants to sound smarter there, but
Is that really?
that's always the case. Pat Massaroni has no problem shouting out Stepinac, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the starters for the Crusaders of Archbishop Stepinac.
Number 0, Danny Carbucia, class of 2025.
Boogie Flan, number 1, class of 2024.
Number 2, Samuel Gibbs, class of 2022.
Number 4, Joel Byers, class of 2022.
Number 10, Isaiah Alexander, class of 2022.
Head coach, Archbishop Stepinac High School, Patrick Massaroni, class of 2006.
All right, so those are your starters for both teams. Our officials for this game, Aaron Barfield, Arnold Saunders, and Sean Morgan.
Good crew.
Very good crew.
Until they make a bad call.
But listen, you mentioned as now the crowd being introduced to both teams, but you need that third guy, right? But I think, as you said before, you need seniors, right, in a game like this. Those are the guys who, generally speaking, in a championship game of this magnitude, lead the way. Owaka's a senior, Gibbs is a senior, but so is DJ Victory too. And I thought that he played under control in the semifinal game. There's been times where he's been a little bit erratic. He needs to play in control, run his offense, not try to do too much, right? Not get out of his person to have a big game.
I thought the last meeting in the Archdiocesan Championship at Christ the King, when the two met, I thought he was the only one who brought energy for Cardinal Hayes for 32 minutes. I was really impressed with the way he played that day. But you're right, he's got to play under control, do his thing. I think Baez is going to have a big moment here for Stepinac tonight. Kind of that enforcer guy, 2-year starter. You know, and what you love, Dill, he's the type of kid who's been in the program for 4 years. He had opportunities to go other places. Wasn't getting a lot of run, the whole thing. But he didn't do what other kids do. He didn't say, I'm out of here. You know what he did? He got better. He got more mature and he worked harder. And now he's a 2-year starter and trying to play for a city championship tonight. So those are the type of kids I love in this new age game of basketball, where if it doesn't go well for you as a freshman, you go to another school. And if it doesn't go there well for as a sophomore, you go for it. Hey, man, I haven't been on the air in a long time. I got to fix some things that's wrong with basketball.
Well, Baez, too, another thing that makes him great is, again, he kind of knows who's getting touches and who's getting the points. He doesn't care. Massaroni said he wants to be the defensive player of the year. There is no such award, but that speaks volumes of the unselfish player that Joel Baez is.
I think the quote was, there's nothing sexy about his game. He's just beautiful doing it.
That's it. So here we go. The Catholic CHSAA, the AA championship. Hold the phone. And Awaka wins the opening tip. Here comes Victory, dishes it, three-pointer by Moore. That's short. Carbuccia, the rebound, and here comes Fland. Pulls up from 3. Short, battle for the loose ball. Gibbs gets it, backs it out. Looks for options. Bounce pass inside. There is Baez. Oh, the up and under. Awaka says, get out of here.
Well, one of the things I like right away, when Fland took the shot, he clearly got fouled. He didn't get upset with the call. He kept playing hard.
Inbounds for Stepinac. It's Baez. Pops it up top. Alexander swings it. Extra pass. Gibbs for 3. Good!
Love the kick from Fland into the corner. Gibbs sitting there ready to go. Remember, his season high was 27, game 3 against this Cardinal Hayes team.
There's Awaka. Tries to turn, spins in the lane, gets inside and gets the hard 2 points.
Wow, that's the CHSAA MVP, and I know who likes that. Johnny Dunn, the Marist coach, sitting courtside, the former Malloy great who backed up Kenny Anderson. Boy, they'd love a shot at getting him up there to Poughkeepsie.
Carbuccia. Awaka's out on him. Carbuccia kicks it. Gibbs again, other corner. Short, and the rebound goes to Foster. Here comes Victory. This is where Hayes is at its best. In transition, DJ Victory.
5'8", 165 pounds on a good day, but he's the toughest guy. He's the guy that Load says, hey, man, we're going to fight with this guy. And DJ Victory, the old St. Francis Prep guard, doing his thing.
Tim Philp, the associate head coach, he's in charge of the defense for Hayes. They will get a lot of different looks at this Stepinac offense. Carbuccia top of the key. Back iron, no good. Gibbs chases down the rebound. Up and under, inside Baez. Head fake. He got hit. No foul called. And the ball goes out. It'll be Stepinac or Hayes ball, actually.
Well, one thing we've seen with the officials, there's been a lot of contact. So if that's what you're going to establish, stay with it all night. If there's going to be contact, it's continuous contact. Don't change the call. Let them play.
4-3 early on, Cardinal Hayes. 6 minutes left in this first quarter. Victory tries to go to his left, hands off to Jackson. Drives on Fland. Good friends, Jackson and Fland. Jackson misses it inside. Victory chases down the rebound, hits the court. A little bit helter-skelter right now. Jackson gets 2 inside.
Well, he's got energy. You can see it in his face. Sometimes he doesn't play with that energy, but you can see he's coming out. Ian Jackson, the sophomore, coming out strong early.
The freshman, Carbuccia, from 3.
The Dominican Dream, part of that Dominican FIBA U16 team, doing his thing early.
We are tied at 6. Foster to Jackson. Flashing out on him was Carbuccia. Nearly threw it away. Victory corrals. Moore. Gibbs on him. Kicks it inside to Awaka. Spins inside. Awaka draws the double. No good. His own rebound. No problem.
Well, you can see Awaka wants to get isolated with Alexander and use his strength against the 6'7", 190-pound senior. I'd like to see him get down in the block a little deeper, catch the entry pass, and just turn and go.
8-6, Cardinal Hayes. Nice look. Gibbs open 3. Front rim, but the rebound goes to Foster. Foster, a little miscommunication with Victory, and it's a turnover for Hayes.
So much for my thought they're going to come out a little flat. These guys are playing hell-bent. They're coming, they're running, they're defended, they're hitting, they're banging, they're shooting. Good start to the Catholic League Championship.
Alexander from deep. No good. And here comes Victory the other way.
Not the shot you want if you're Coach Massaroni from Alexander.
Foster steps back. Bang!
I really like him, and Lode says he's become a great young man. Probably going to go to prep school. Has a college offer from St. Bonaventure. His dream is to play at Rutgers.
Back iron, Flan misses his first shot. He went a long time in that quarterfinal before missing. Jackson banks it in!
Well, thank God there was a backboard. Somebody would have been hurt behind the basket. He wasn't calling that. He just got a little luck.
14-6, Cardinal Hayes, 3:36 left. Opening quarter. Carbuccia tries to get it. Owaka swats him away. His second block. And look who's on the floor getting the rebound, but Tobe Owaka.
Well, one of the things you're going to have to do now if you're Stepinac, the big fellas come to play tonight. No doubt about it. 6'8", 235. You got to use a little bit of a head fake, a ball fake, because otherwise he's going to swat shots all night. Right now, if I'm Stepinac, I take a couple trips down the floor, Dill, and all I'm looking to do is get a couple fouls called on him. Because right now, this is a different man. He is a man.
Yes.
He came in at 6'8". Right now, he's about 6'10", 250, the way he's playing. And it's funny. He's got offers. We told you Marist is all over him. St. Bonaventure offered the other night after the semifinal victory. Holy Cross, Northeastern, our buddy Joe Jones at Boston University. He aspires to play at a higher level. I hope he picks the right level. I hope he doesn't think too high. There are some really good schools going after him. I hope he's not chasing. I hope he settles in and finds the right school for him. Go where somebody loves you, not where you want to try to fall in love with them. Let the coach love you now.
Also has an 100 average in school, so he brings it in the classroom as well. Here's Owaka, the rim rocker! 16-6, Cardinal Hayes.
Oh, forget that quick. I'm going to play higher. Wow.
Alexander, corner 3. In and out. Gibbs, this is an important possession here. Never mind that, huh? Jackson, Captain Jack with the lefty flush.
Give me victory. Give me victory. I loved it. Gets the steal from Gibbs. Head down. Knew exactly where Jackson was. Just flipped the ball up the floor. Watch the replay here. Watch this right here. That's terrific basketball. Everybody's going to talk about Jackson in the flush. It's DJ Victory coming up the winner on that play. So far, you talked about it in the open. Had to play under control, play smart. That's what DJ Victory has done now. The toughest guy of the team is playing like the smartest guy on the team so far.
Those guys love it early on. 12-0 run. We were tied at 6, and the Cardinals have ramped it up defensively, and they have come to play. And, it looks like you got the big head of Tobe. He's earned that.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely earned it. No doubt. You look at this Stepinac team, Dill. They played 13 games on neutral courts this year. They're 12-1. This is an uncommon, and you have to remember this. We talked about it before. There are 3 losses this year by a combined 6 points. This game's not over. There's going to be some runs, no doubt.
Here's Gibbs off the timeout. Hands it off to Flan. Foster on him. And there's our first foul of the game on Tariq Foster. Baez to inbound. Carbuccia back in. He gets the ball. Victory harassing him. Swings it. Flans. Works off the screen. Goes in a lane. Off balance shot. No good. Baez. Gibbs inside. And that's a big bucket for Archbishop Stepinac.
Toby's affecting everything in this game. That shot by Boogie right there. You just saw the big fella in his face. Changed everything he wanted to do.
Jackson to Victory. Here's Jackson again. Up top, Tobe. He can shoot it from there. Buries the top of the key three.
Well, all those schools I talked about before, Johnny Dunn here and everything, I don't know, man. If the big fella's stepping out and hitting from 22, it's going to be hard to keep him in the MAC conference.
9 first-half points for the Catholic Player of the Year. Flan goes to his left, attacks Tobe. That's what you wanted, and he drew the foul.
You needed to. You got to somehow you got to get him out of his game. You got to get him out of his flow. So that's a good job by Stepinac going to the basket right now. I think right now you got to attack him. Somehow you got to get him in foul trouble. They're settling for too many threes. And the best way to chip this thing is get free throws, get fouls on the big guy.
First free throw is good. John Perez checking in as our third member of the broadcast crew. What are you seeing, John?
Yeah, Mike, I think your ears are red, too, because that's exactly what Pat Massaroni said to his team. Stop settling for the easy shots. Be aggressive. Go after the big men was his message to Stepinac, and we saw that with Boogie Flan, who was nodding his head the entire way. Expect Stepinac, like you said, to go to the hole.
Thanks, Johnny. 1 of 2 for Flans. And here's Victory. 1:37 left in this first quarter. It's a 21-9 lead for Cardinal Hayes. It's the Catholic AA Championship here on Varsity Media.
Like the change they've made, they've gone a little smaller but a little thicker. Lytle now covering Big Toby.
Foul line jumper by Jackson off the mark. Here comes Gibbs the other way. Hands off. Flans on Jackson. Tough jumper for Boogie Flans. He's got 6 of his team's 11. Final minute of the opening quarter. Moore. Hands off to Victory. Awaka. 3 by Williams. Jaden Williams buries a three-pointer.
Known more for his defense than shooting, but steps out there and makes it look like he does it all the time.
4-3 of the first quarter for Cardinal Hayes. 30 seconds left in the opening quarter. Gibbs thought about it. Looks for options. Gibbs harassed there by Jackson. Nice bounce pass. There's Braylon Ritvo. Side rim, no good. Awaka the rebound, and here come Hayes in transition. Victory. That's where he did lose it a little bit. And we go the other way, and a foul is called. It is on DJ. It's his first, the team's second. The team third. Well, the quarterback has checked in, Mike. You love your quarterbacks, especially those trained by Sims and his crew, and that's Henry Beelan, number 10.
6'3", 210. He can throw a football going to Duke next year, and I don't think Duke realizes what they're getting. They're going to get a 3-year starter out of Henry Beelan. Terrific kid, great competitor.
Gibbs. Nothing doing there. Flans again off balance. Ritvo the putback misses, and there is Beelan. Flings it upfield to Jackson. That will not count. What a start for Cardinal Hayes as the Cardinals lead this one 24-10. We've had a lot of Tobe Awaka. We've had a lot of Ian Jackson and a lot of threes in that opening quarter. It's the Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship presented by Maspeth Federal Savings on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
Welcome back to the MAC Sports Complex. Dylan Butler, Mike Quick, and the third member of our broadcast crew, John Perez. We'll get to him in a moment. Baez, good bounce pass. Alexander sends it down.
Great spacing by the Crusaders to get the easy deuce.
His first two of this game. 24-13, the lead for Cardinal Hayes. There's Victory. Bounces it to Moore. Guarded by Baez. Now they double Foster. Tough jumper off the mark. And Fland has it. The Crusaders will look to push. Carbuccia in the corner. Ritvo. Back out to Carbuccia. Here's Baez. Spins. Oh, threw a little elbow. He did. Offensive foul called on Baez.
Got to the matchup a little late. Baez was down in the block with Victory on him. Carbuccia didn't identify it. Had they gotten it to him earlier, that was going to be a size mismatch and probably an easy deuce for the kids from White Plains.
Here comes Jackson. Owaka up top for Victory. Owaka, another three. Why not?
It's something, man. You don't expect 6'8", 235-pound defensive ends to step out and knock it down from 22 on back-to-back tries.
Alexander. Oh, and that's a cheapie for Owaka to pull up, to pick up.
Like to see a replay of that if we could cue that up off the baseline camera.
That is his second and the team's fourth. So he'll go to the bench. And Williams checks in.
So mark this, partner. 6:40, 27-13. Toby goes to the bench. If Stepinac's going to make a run, they need to make it now.
Baez to Carbuccia. Off the screen was Gibbs. Puts it on the court. On Victory. Rims out.
Just like the one in their first meeting with 28 seconds left. Down and out.
Jackson. Back rim. Baez can't hold the ball, but Gibbs gets it. Gibbs 1-on-4. What a move by Sam Gibbs, but he can't finish. Foster a little out of control. Here comes Carbuccia. Takes the hit by Victory, and a hard one at that.
Clean play. Nothing wrong with that hit. Just good basketball. Nothing malicious about that at all. And what I liked is he went over there after the contact was made, and he went to help him up. Look, here we go. Just a hard foul, nothing dirty, and DJ went over to help him up after the play.
So it's Victory's second foul as Carbuccia gets looked at on the baseline.
So right now, if you're Coach Massaroni, as you're tending to Carbuccia, you're saying, who's my best free throw shooter on the bench right now?
Good to see Danny up. And I think he's found that.
So that's exactly what Coach Massaroni did. Retivo, he pulled him. They were going to make a substitution before. All set to go into the game was Ben Lytle, but Braylon is a better free throw shooter, so he made the good coaching move right there.
Ritvo's first is good.
You know, transferred here this year. He's a sophomore, 6'6", 200-pounder from the Trevor Day School in Manhattan. A tough commute making it from there, Manhattan into White Plains every day, but he does it. He's got an old man's game. You know, he's kind of like you, Dill. He plays smart, he plays slow. But he plays well.
1 of 2 for Braylon. And again, just a sophomore, 6'6", size 17 shoe. Oh, baseline. Jackson.
Well, again, I just think DJ Victory is playing himself a whale of a basketball game tonight.
Flans. Tough jumper. Another tough one for him. He's got 8. And Victory, another one of those uncommitted seniors, right? So he's not only playing for his team, foul line jumper for him, but he's also looking at his opportunity on the next level.
Well, a lot of college coaches here tonight, so they're taking a good look at number 5.
Gibbs inside.
Smart, crafty, shifty. We talked about it before. Old school type approach to his game.
29-18 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. 5:07 left. Victory spins on Gibbs. And they'll pull it back out for the hot hand in Jackson. Jackson for 3, falling away, no good. This allows Little to get down the field, I said field again. I'm looking at him like a linebacker.
He looks like a linebacker. He shot that like a linebacker.
We go out.
But speaking of football, Mike O'Donnell, I was watching the St. Francis Prep Stepinac game over in Stepinac this year. I was standing with Coach O'Donnell, the AD, and he's like, hey, there's nobody like Ben Lytle. He loves him. You know, he's an author. He's going to write a book. He's going to, straight A student. They just love him. Do you know in basketball, when they play pickup games, everybody picks him first because they hate to play against him defensively?
Well, if I was at Hayes, that's the guy that I would pick. Owaka scores inside again.
I'll tell you what, the last time we saw a big fella have a game like this in the Catholic League, it was Shigeri Aline from Rice High School. He was 12 of 12 with a free throw, 25 that day, 7-4. That's how Shigeri wouldn't step out, though, and hit him from 22.
Oh, another rim rocker for Tobey Owaka.
You know, that career game he had here Wednesday night in the victory against St. Francis Prep, the way he's going is going to be the second best game he's played in his career.
16 for the big man, 33-18, the lead for Cardinal Hayes. High, arcing 3, in and out. Owaka, another rebound.
You got to go right at him. The only way I think if Stepinac is to win this game, he's got to pick up a third foul now. You got to go right at him. They are settling for too many shots away from the basket.
Inside to Owaka. Gets fouled, but will go to the line for 2.
Well, I hope people who are watching here and watching at home realize how good number 5 right here. Look at this entry pass. DJ Victory. Good job by Toby with the seal off, and a great job by DJ Victory getting the ball down to the big fella. DJ Victory is giving Archbishop Stepinac fits tonight. Everybody's going to say it's Toby. DJ Victory is playing a sensational basketball game. And Dill, you said it, if he played smart, number 5 on Cardinal Hayes, if he played smart, they had a really good chance to win this basketball game.
Tobey, and that's the other aspect of his game as well that should excite college coaches. Soft touch on the foul line as well.
I see Van Macon here from St. John's. You wonder if they'd ever sniff around. It's amazing. 10 minutes ago, I'm saying he's got to stay in the MAC. Now I'm talking about Van Macon taking a look at him.
Carbuccia for 3. Ooh, and some words as well.
Yeah, you know what?
Ian Jackson.
Knock that off. You're getting your butts kicked. You make a shot. Go back and play defense. Come on, here we go, guys.
Jackson in the lane. 2 for him.
Well, Ian Jackson, the leading scorer in the Catholic League this year, 19.5 per game, 535 points this year.
He's got 11 now. Alexander at Owaka. I like the decision. The execution wasn't there. Here comes Williams the other way. Touch pass. Ooh, you can't leave Moore open. Misses it, though, back rim.
Yeah, usually when Moore's standing still, he's going to knock it down.
As will Gibbs. Bang! 7 for Sam I.M. 37-24 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. 2:24 left in this first half. Victory for 3. Good.
It's just redundant, man. I love the kid's game. I just love him. This is a kid who had to sit out his sophomore year when he transferred from St. Francis Prep, then had the COVID season last year. So this is really his first full year of basketball for Cardinal Hayes.
Yeah, for what it's worth, and I don't even know if you put a banner up in the gym, you certainly shouldn't, but the Hayes won that kind of spring tournament they played right up at Stepinac, but you're right, in terms of playing in the Catholic League, this is it. One and done for Victory.
Yeah, last year was nice that the kids got out to play but hanging banners and anything. Last year was just about getting out and playing, trying to live your life again.
Good denial by Alexander for a moment, but it still gets to Awaka. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted Awaka inside. They didn't collapse on him, though. Here comes Victory attacking Baez, but Baez gets the rebound.
Toby's got to be careful there with the over-the-backs.
Alexander sees an open lane, and he finds the dunk as well. Timeout.
You know, Dill, the good thing about this Alexander guy, number 10, the 6'7", 190-pound senior, came here family moved from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, up to Stepinac, up to Mamaroneck after his sophomore year. And this season could have gone either way for him. By late January, he was not buying into the team thing. And then finally it clicked. We over me, as Coach Massaroni said, and he became a different guy, became a much better player, and here he is, you know, out here just attacking it. Good job going right to the basket. And that's always nice when you hear, you know, when it's about the team and no longer the individual. It's really terrific.
We'll send it to our third member of our broadcast crew, John Perez.
Mike, and you mentioned that team and the community that both of these coaches have cultivated with their programs. Look at Stepinac, for example, too, in the title game for the last 3 years. And Pat Massaroni this morning actually reached out to everybody who was a starter on that 18 championship team that beat Christ the King. You're looking at R.J. Davis, Xavier Wilson, Joel Soriano, Alan Griffin, and he asked them if he can describe winning the city championship in 3 words. He would compile it together and then tell his players to imagine that feeling. And, of course, since they're not his players anymore, they went over that word count. Either way, the motivation was there for that. They have stood in constant communication. Joel Baez still keeps in touch with R.J. Davis. They're best friends. Meanwhile, on the Cardinal Hayes side, Mark Jackson was at practice this week imploring the fellas that this will be a feeling that lasts a lifetime.
Carbuccia draws the contact, the hoop, and the harm.
He plays tough. Going back to Johnny Perez, you know, great sideline hit right there about Coach Massaroni. That team in 2017-18 won the city and federation titles, 27-5. And look, Coach didn't have to stop there. He could reach out. He's got 12 kids currently playing college basketball, 5 Division I, 1 Division II, 6 Division III. So that's the great thing. You're playing ball and you're getting to school. So they're using basketball as a vehicle to further their educations.
All right, so now mark this moment down because it's the moment with 1:10 left in this first half that Victory picked up his 3rd foul.
That's a big number, Dill.
Moore inside the foul line. No good. Loose ball on the court. Who wants it? It will be Stepinac ball. Down 12 with 55 seconds left in this first half.
Flan needs to hit one going into the locker room. Get himself going a little bit.
He's got a quiet 8 to this point. Inside, into the trees goes Alexander. Although the tree's a little bit shorter now without Tobe in there.
Yeah. What's it called, a dwarfling or something? What are those small trees called? Sure. You know?
It's on Beelan, his first. And the team's 7th, which sends Alexander to the line. In and out. So Victory back in for Moore.
Cardinal Hayes team, a Stepinac team on a 14-game win streak we talked about, and 2 of those victories have been against this Cardinal Hayes team.
Missed them both. Here is Victory.
Risky move with 3.
37 seconds left first half, 40-28 for Cardinal Hayes. Jackson wants the screen from Foster. Gets it. Alexander flashes out on him, though. Dribbles, goes to his right. The lefty layup. Count it.
He's playing with energy tonight, Dill. This is the 4th time I've seen him. I thought he played great the other day in the quarterfinals when the Antigua brothers from Kentucky were here, because that's one of his dream schools, to go to Kentucky. The other 2 times I watched him this year, I didn't get a sense of energy. I almost thought he was almost like, okay, what But today, he's playing with purpose. He's not getting caught up in the Jackson Boogie show. He's playing for the name on the front of his chest. And here we go. Got to play with energy when you're a high school kid. You're young, you have it in you. Play hard all the time.
13 for Ian Jackson. Shot clock is off, final 14 seconds of this first half. It's a 42-28 lead for Cardinal Hayes. Carbuccia tucks it under. High off glass and in.
That's why they loved him in the Dominican Republic on that all-FIBA 16 and under team. That's a big basket going into the half for Archbishop Stepinac.
That was Jackson's late attempt. That off the mark.
You know, you take the 3 fouls against DJ Victory and say it's 2. Let's just say he has 2. I talked about how Stepinac played the perfect half of basketball in the quarterfinals against St. Raymond's. We just saw Cardinal Hayes play as good a basketball as you can play against a high-level team. And remember, this is a team that scored 2 points in the second quarter against Stepinac in the Archdiocesan final.
We'll send it to John Perez, who's got Joe Loads with him.
Joe, a 12-point lead at the locker room. What did you like in the first half out of your team?
Well, I like the score, but we played really well. But, we're only up by 12, so, we'll see. We'll see. Tim's mad at me. We're arguing back and forth. But I love Tim. Me and Tim are like Lennon and McCartney. Without the entourage, without the fans, and without the money. Suddenly I'm depressed here. What happened?
Well, listen, another good 1-2 punch that you have, Tobe and DJ. How would you assess their play in the first half?
Tobe is as advertised. He shows up every night. I'm going to go in there. We're going to tell them there's 16 minutes left in their high school careers. And hopefully we can hang on. I mean, I'm going to remind them it's great when you get a chance to hold that trophy. It's really great because we're playing such a great league, right, and it's there for us. Hopefully we can sustain what we're doing. I don't know. I just don't know, but I'm hopeful. I'm a man of faith.
All right, I'll let you go have that faith.
Thank
in the
you.
locker room. That's Joe Loads, guys. We'll send it back to you.
Always entertaining is Joe Loads.
Well, you know how he got his first coaching job in basketball? His uncle worked at Cathedral Prep, and that's where he started. His uncle got him a job at Cathedral Prep, and he was assistant in his first year. They won the City B championship. So
there we go.
Very religious man.
Well, he's going to have a few prayers at halftime, and we'll have maybe some sips of water here as well. 42-30 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. You're watching the Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship game presented by Maspeth Federal Savings on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Woodland's goal! Ryan Woodland!
Behind the back shot for Connolly, and that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss.
Look at that cut to the cage, and a sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save, rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net. Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here.
Welcome back to the Mac Sports Complex on the campus of Hofstra University. Halftime, 42-30 is the lead for Cardinal Hayes in the Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship game presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. Dylan Butler, Mike Quick, will send it down to our third member of our broadcast crew, John Perez.
Yeah, guys, so with about 4 minutes left, we're waiting for head coach Pat Massaroni to come out. But, listening to his huddles in the first half, it was really more of a let's get aggressive. Let's play the basketball that we need to play. That's been his message verbatim throughout all of the timeouts. It'll be interesting to see the adjustments that Stepinac makes. They've got about 16 minutes left in their career, like Joe Lode said, on the other side. But in terms of Stepinac, DJ Victory has been a lot to handle on the Cardinal Hayes side, as is Toby Awaka. I can't wait to see what the defensive matchups would be for there. And guys, we'll send it back to you.
I kind of jumped the gun there, Mike. I went to John too quick. I thought he had Coach Massaroni, but let's look at the leading scorers to this point for Cardinal Hayes. Listen, it's been the Tobe Awaka show, and as you heard Joe Lode say, as advertised, 18 first-half points in the Catholic Championship game. That's a pretty solid 2 quarters.
And one miss? I think it's one miss. He stepped out a couple times, hit 3-pointers from the top of the key. He's played a perfect half as we go over there to JP with Coach Mass.
All right, Coach, you're now back out of the locker room. You had some time to let that first half digest. What'd you tell your guys?
I told our guys, no game's won at half and no game is lost at half. They played a great half of basketball. They're a really good team. We're good. I told our guys we're good. We got senior leadership. We got young guys who know what to do. We got to do a better job getting back in transition. We got to adjust the physicality of the game and keep plugging away at this thing at 2 or 3 minutes at a clip.
Gibbs had a good first half, knocking down a couple of shots. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, look, Sam's a big-time player, and he's been a leader for us. He's given up scoring in other games. Tonight he's had to score it because they're taking Boogie away. They're starting in a zone, and then when we kind of get on the side, they go man to deny Boogie. So he's got to step up, and that's what he's doing. Like I said to the guys at halftime, we're a good team. They're a good team. And this will be an exciting half because we're ready to go.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
I'll let you get ready to go then.
Thanks.
That's head coach Pat Massaroni. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, John.
Focused.
Yeah.
Disappointed. You can hear it. And but he's right. This is a basketball team that lost just 3 games this year, played in a lot of big games this year. If I'm not mistaken, when they played Cardinal Hayes the first time, 3rd game of the season, they were down 10 in the 3rd quarter. So been there, for them you hope it's not done that because they ended up losing by 2, but they came all the way back with an opportunity to win down the stretch. So 12 points is a lot. It's not unattainable by any means when you have the talent like this. They just have to – what they can't do, Dill, is they can't let Awaka come out and just dictate in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter. They can't, because he owned them. I mean, listen, I've seen 35 Catholic League championships. That first half by Toby Awakwa, the CHSAA most valuable player, was as good a half of basketball that I've seen in the Catholic League championship, maybe other than Shigari Arlene, maybe other than Lamar Odom when he was a sophomore for Christ the King. I mean, that you're talking about legendary names in the Catholic League, and he's writing his name into that book tonight. The only way they win this game is if they can somehow, Stepinac, keep the ball out of his hand. It's hard because DJ Victory has done a wonderful job getting him the basketball.
Carbucci, we saw there, 10 points to lead Stepinac. The score at halftime of that first matchup at Hayes, that Hayes won by 3, was 35-29 in favor of Cardinal Hayes. And as you said, that lead went up in the third, and then a huge comeback from Stepinac, led by Gibbs on that night at Cardinal Hayes.
Well, Alexander has definitely made it tough on, Elijah Moore has definitely made it tough, and Jackson has made it tough at times for Gibbs to get even deeper into the lane. That's where he does his damage. Gets in, draws, dishes. Hasn't had that opportunity a lot in the first half.
So Victory to inbounds. Third quarter underway here from the Mac Sports Complex. Here's Moore, guarded by Gibbs. Ooh, Gibbs nearly took it away. Awaka flashes up top, gets it to Foster. Baez comes out to guard him tight. He's trying to get to 5 seconds. Foster, harassed, gets it to Jackson. Jackson taken away by Fland. Fland on Jackson. Jackson rejects him the other side. No foul called. Massaroni wants the foul call.
Well, let's see if Coach should get what he wants. Well, they look like not contact early, but contact late, no question.
Victory goes the other way. Tries to feed it inside. Good job by Alexander, but Awaka still gets the ball. Loose ball, Awaka still spinning. And finally dispossessed. Here comes Gibbs in transition. Gibbs to an open Fland. 4-3, rimmed out. Alexander battles for the loose ball. Look out for Awaka as well. It's on the court. And I'll tell you, Awaka, for everything that we talk about him, he is always the first one on the court for Cardinal Hayes.
Well, he's a hard worker. As Coach said, Coach Loads, he comes ready to play. But what he also did there, he was very lucky because he got away with his third one. There was definitely over-the-back contact, and they did not call it.
Gibbs to inbound, out to Baez. Here's Carbuccia. Ended the first half with a big bucket. Oh, Fland just took that first step, blew by Jackson and pulled up for two.
Jackson got mentally lost. He got distracted. He turned his head to his left. Fland identified it. Off the dribble, went right by him.
Massaroni imploring his team to play defense. Fland now has 10. Alexander gets in on Jackson. Jackson's got to back out towards midcourt. Here's Foster. 10 on the shot.
Baez can defend.
Foster hit up top by Baez, and he'll go to the line.
What we've seen the first two trips down the floor from Cardinal Hayes, a little bit of selfishness. In that first half, the ball was moving, it was going around. We've seen a little bit of isolation basketball where they've gotten sloppy a little bit. Stepinac would take that. If Cardinal Hayes goes into isolation, that's a good way for them to get back into the basketball game.
Baez is second, and Foster misses the free throw.
We said it earlier, he'd love to go play for Coach Peichel, who just got a 4-year extension today for Rutgers right before they lost to Iowa in the Big Ten quarterfinals. If he goes the Rutgers route, couple things. He's going to have to go to prep school, and he's going to have to get stronger. There's no doubt about it. But he has a skill set which is intriguing to a lot of people. I heard Coach Patino, when he was here at the quarterfinals the other day, was very intrigued with his game.
11-point lead. Carbuccia steps back. No good. Tap rebound. Second opportunity. Not there for Alexander. A lot of contact. And inbound underneath for Stepinac.
Dill, you know what you see a lot in this game? A lot of guys falling back when they shoot. There's a lot of like trying to look cool, and like the guys in the NBA do that. I don't remember that when I used to call these games. Guys falling backwards, trying to look cool on all their shots. Just go up and make the shot.
Yeah, that's what's pretty cool.
Making the shot's pretty cool.
Carbuccia attacks Owaka, up and under.
Great job. Great job by Carbuccia, looking for the foul, but just a terrific play by the freshman. Reclass, so he's a year older, but hey, that's okay. A lot of kids do it.
Owaka, another three. This off the mark. Made his first two. And now momentum shifting to the Crusaders. Layup attempt, no good. Baez, the putback. It's good.
I'd get a timeout right now if I'm Cardinal Hayes, and I would tell my big guy, stay down in the block. We gave you an opportunity to take a couple early in the game. That's not your win. Get down in the block and do what you do.
43-36. The jungle behind us, the Stepinac students excited. Three, way off.
Great job by Baez on the run-out defense. I'm really impressed with Joel Baez in the second half. 6'5", 180 pounds, averages just 7 points per game, has played wonderful defense here in the third quarter. He altered that shot with the long arm run-out. Listen, that's what Coach Massaroni says. He goes, that's what we do. That's what we do. We defend. We defend better than we have in my 7 years as head coach here at Archbishop Stepinac.
I thought throughout the season that Hayes was the most talented team, man for man.
You saw him a lot.
I thought Stepinac played harder. Alexander, inside pass to Baez, lost it. He's at that baseline again. Victory gets it. The Stepinac bench irate, thinking that Victory, with his back to the ground, was out of bounds.
Well, Coach Massaroni's letting this three-man crew hear it. I couldn't see from where we were. Gibbs with the poke.
Victory, the recovery. Goes down low. Owaka. Two more for the big man, 20 on the night.
Again, great job by DJ Victory. Victory is playing to win tonight. There's no doubt about it.
We don't have the numbers. He's got to have 6 assists.
Easy.
Probably 5 of them to Owaka.
Why not?
Carbuccia, lefty layup, gets the foul on Owaka.
I love Carbuccia's game in the second half. You know that Coach Massaroni told these guys in the locker room, you have got to attack the big guy. Carbuccia has done it once already, and up and under, and here, relentless, just goes right at him, strong, and a definite foul. That's number 3 on the big man as he takes a look to the bench to his left to see if he's staying in. Coach Loads has sent nobody to check in, so he's going with the CHSAA MVP with 3 fouls at the 3:47 mark of the third.
First free throw rims around for Carbuccia.
Carbuccia has offers already, 10 offers. Providence, Stony Brook, St. Louis, Seton Hall, Fordham, and St. Peter's, just some of the 10.
Missed both. Owaka, the rebounds.
Oh, wasted trip for the Crusaders.
45-36. Owaka still in there with his third. Victory. Bounce pass inside to Jackson. What a great look by Victory. And Flans called for the foul.
Dill, when we spoke during the week and we were going to do our player profiles, I said to you, I really want to do DJ Victory. And that was before the semifinal game, and then Owaku has that game. Look at his head up. Look at his control of the game, under control. Oh, wow, pretty cool. A bounce pass. Oh, what's that? No behind the back, nothing flashy. Good old-fashioned, off-the-bounce, catchable ball. DJ Victory. I'll tell you this right now. I know it sounds crazy where guys are putting up a lot of points. If Cardinal Hayes goes on to win this game and we vote, we have a vote in this thing. Paul Gilveri said we could vote. I'm voting for DJ Victory if he continues to play the way he is.
And an empty trip for Jackson as well. 45-36 the lead, Cardinal Hayes. 3:25 left, third quarter of this Catholic Championship game. 3, Missed the mark. Williams the rebound. Here comes Victory. Spins on Baez. Goes end to end. Baez swats and gets called for the foul.
He's playing games with these guys now. DJ Victory looks terrific. I heard when he was at there's the spin right there, and that's the third foul on Baez. I heard that freshman team at St. Francis Prep when he began his career there was sensational.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievable freshman team. And you saw how good Prep was this year, but he transferred out. A couple of guys the grades might not have been up to par. So it wasn't the full team that migrated all the way to this senior year. But I'll tell you this, DJ Victory, oh my God, just incredible. What a night. And he ain't 5'9" either.
He goes 1 of 2. Subs for both teams, Lytle in, as is Beelin for Hayes. And Foster late to the scorers table. He'll come back in at the next opportunity. Carbuccia. Flan steps out.
Bad shot.
Yeah, forced that one. Beelin the rebound. We go the other way.
Trying to hit a grand slam with nobody on base still. You got to get to the basket. You got to chip away inside out.
Victory guarded by Gibbs.
Well, got away with a double dribble there.
Certainly did. He says, why not? I'll go to the hoop. Eight for Victory. The lead is 12. 2:30 left, third quarter. Carbuccia from the foul line. Off the mark.
Good run out by the Duke-bound quarterback, Henry Beelin, with a hand in his face.
Foster in.
Got to get better shot selection if you're Stepinac. Still go down and chip away, chip away.
Carbuccia out on Victory. That's a freshman guarding a senior. Foster for 3. Back rim, no good. Williams, a big rebound. Put back opportunity short. And Flan skies in for the board.
Sure did.
And Carbuccia.
Great job by Victory again. Boy, his DNA is all over this basketball court here tonight at Hofstra. Watch this. Snap pass up the floor. Victory comes back up. Whoop! Pulled that foot a little extra. DJ Victory just, again, they list him at 5'9". There's no way. But doesn't matter because he's playing like he's 6'5" tonight.
Foster backs it out. Williams gets it to Victory. Had a conversation ahead of that quarterfinal game with Joe Arbitello, the Christ the King coach. Jackson's jumper off the mark. Victory the rebound. He'll go for the putback, and it is good.
Sensational. Sensational.
Arbitello said when he was a first year or going for his first title, they lost it in Briarwood as Gibbs knocks down the 3. Timeout at 30 by Massaroni. But they lose to Archbishop Malloy, and Arbitello is upset after the loss. And the late, great, the legendary Jack Curran said, what are you worried about? You're winning the title this year. He said, because you've got players at every position and you've got seniors. And obviously, they went on, Christ the King did, to win the championship. And he felt that's what Hayes has this year. With Victory and with Awaka and with the rest of the guys as well. You've got players everywhere.
Well, we talked about it in the open. Who's that third guy? Who's the third guy in a championship game that always gives you the ability to win? Well, right now the ability to win is going through Victory.
Christ the King had a lot of ability to win, and they won a lot during these years. Look at this for Christ the King. 2010, 11, 13, 14, 15, and 19. In 19, they beat Stepinac. Stepinac obviously won in 2018. Cardinal Hayes won in 2017. It's a lot of championship appearances for Pat Massaroni's Crusaders.
Remind me at the next break. I just got a text that we need to read to people who are watching this game who are friends of Catholic basketball and New York City basketball. So happy I just heard from this guy.
50-39 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. A minute left in the third quarter. Now it's Lytle. Victory spun the other way. The fans loved it, but he nearly lost the ball. Goes to Williams. Williams inside. Tough jumper for Jaden Williams.
Well, again, 6'3", 175-pound junior guard, known for his defense, has had a couple of big shots here tonight.
Into the lane. No good. Loose ball. It'll stay with Stepinac.
Just got a text from Barry Slice Rawson,
yes,
who was in that horrible accident down in Florida. Still in the hospital. His son is out of the hospital. And I hadn't heard from him. I texted him a couple of times. He just got back. Thanks, Mike. So I thought it was appropriate on the night of the Catholic Basketball Championship that he reaches out, because you know he'd be here. We love you, Slice. We want you to get better, pal. Just a horrible, horrible story.
Gibbs, jumper off the mark. And now Victory. I thought Joe Lodes was going to come and check in for a moment. He was all the way out at midcourt, basically telling Victory we're holding for the last. Gibbs trying to get the 5-second call on him. Steps back out. When will he go? 8 seconds. Now they'll move. Beelan sets the screen. Victory bounces it to Jackson. On Flands, it is short. Cardinal Hayes has led throughout, and they've got a 52-39 lead. How do you spell victory? Hayes thinks it's with a D and a J. Cardinal Hayes leads Stepinac 52-39, 3 quarters in the books. You're watching this Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship game presented by Maspeth Federal Savings on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood. Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that.
Welcome back to the MAC Sports Complex on the campus of Hofstra University. Dylan Butler, Mike Quick with you, along with John Perez. It is the Catholic Class AA Intersectional Championship. Game is presented by Maspeth Federal Savings here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
And who's not here with us tonight is Tom Konchowski.
Well, he is.
He is in spirit and an absolute fixture, just a beautiful person. We lost him on February 8th, 2021, and Tom is posthumously going into the Catholic League Hall of Fame. They probably waited till Tom passed away because he never would have allowed it. It never was about Tom. We miss you, Tom. The game is not the same without you.
Awaka, the putback. 22 for Tobe. Yeah, and I always remember the games. I always knew that as a reporter, I was in great hands as Baez knocks down the 3. When I saw Tom Konchowski in the top row of the gym somewhere, because I knew I was getting great stats. I was getting a great handshake and probably going out to a pretty nice diner after as well. Awaka inside, a traveling violation is called.
You might have gone to a great diner, but all Tom did was eat soup and drink ginger ale.
Well, he knew the spots to do that.
And it's so nice. A lot of college basketball this year. Villanova, Duke, Miami, they all did for the Tom Konchowski Foundation as Carbucci again goes right at the big fella.
Gibbs can't hold on to it. Will stay here.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You'd watch some games, a lot of big college basketball games, and they'd have the clipboard with the Tom Konchowski Foundation marked on it. So kudos to a bunch of college basketball coaches whose jobs were made easier because of Tom Konchowski.
Fland fouled.
Elijah Moore got him, 6'4", 175-pound sophomore forward. Has offers already from Temple and St. Peter's.
I think what you love a lot about Konchowski, right? But, I mean, the definition of old school, right? Did his report on a typewriter.
Yeah.
Didn't have a cell phone.
No. only had an answering machine for 3 weeks in his life, and so many people left messages. He felt bad that he couldn't get back to everybody, so he said once he did, that was it. Because if they couldn't leave a message, he couldn't feel bad not getting back to him because they didn't know if he called.
Didn't have a car, but he was a prince among men and always found the way to get where he needed to get to.
I could see Victory. He's upset. Carbuccio grabbing the back of that jersey, and he got away with it.
10-point lead for Cardinal Hayes. Jackson blew a tire and then thought he threw the ball out. That's what Massaroni thought as well, but the ball deflected out, and it will be Cardinal Hayes' ball. Victory inbounds. Had Tim Philp give him some advice.
Great co-coach with Joe Lodes. Used to be the head coach of Stepinac when Pat Massaroni was his senior manager back in 06.
Alexander all over him. Owaka's got to kick it out. Goes inside. What do I know? 24 for Owaka. Baez thought he'd go at the big fella with 3 fouls. They swing it to Flan. Flan with Victory on him. And a hand check is called on Victory. So my mistake earlier in the first half, thought he picked up his third. That was his third.
Oh, that's a big deal then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense then, because I was wondering why Coach Lodes had him in at the half then with 3.
Carbuccia pumps the brakes, gets it to Gibbs. Here's Fland at the top of the key. Stolen. Victory comes away after Williams forced it. Jackson in transition, finishes at the rim.
Just watch the eyes of DJ Victory, the eyes of a winner, the eyes of a champion, head up, making the smart, easy pass for the easy deuce for Jackson.
Gibbs high off the glass at Owaka, gets it to fall. He has 12.
Pretty crafty for the 4-year senior.
Open, Elijah Moore. Bang.
Well, when he gets those puppies set, nobody's near him. He's the best shooter on this basketball team. Stand still, boy, you ain't going to beat him in a game of horse still.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of shooters at Cardinal Hayes, says Joe Lodes.
Great pass by Gibbs.
Owaka, though, affects it. Here comes Jackson on his best buddy, Fland. The layup is good. And a timeout is called.
And Joe Lodes not happy with Jackson at all. It looked like he was upset that he was talking a little smack after the play. Spin move.
He was in on watching here, right there, stepping down on Fland. And look, the last thing you need at this juncture of the game is attack, free throws, possession, all that comes with it. So you got to keep your cool, especially here in the biggest of stages.
Well, they made it up here from the Grand Concourse. The Hayesmen. And there's Coach Phillips, who was the head coach at Stepinac for a long time. And then there's Joe Lodes. A really good combination of coaches. Tim does a lot of work with the defense. Joe does a lot of work with the offense. They'll interchange each other. You could see, man, they feed off each other. They can read each other's when they're end of a thought. The next guy jumps in. That's coaching right there, man. That is some serious coaching.
Yeah, Joe Lodes is head coach by title, but look, it's very much shared. And look what the two of them have kind of done here together as well. You see, since 2011, that's kind of when, again, the AA has changed, right? Where Hayes jumped in and Mount, and we mentioned before, Rice unfortunately was gone, but all those league titles, that spring championship, but that's the one that they play for.
And that's been sitting in Christ the King's hallway for 3 years, man. They kept that thing for 3 years. And Joe Lodes did say the fact that they won a title in 17, he was much more relaxed this year coming into this game than the game in 17.
Jackson with the flush. 19 for the super sophomore. And it is looking like Hayes is going to run away with this one. Foul called on Jackson. 65-46 is the lead. 4:58 left in this fourth quarter. Baez down low. Lytle kicks it out. fake inside the three-point arc was Gibbs. He's had a tough night, has Sam Gibbs. Victory has had a great night. How about another assist for Williams?
Just great. I love the energy he plays with. That's what I liked about him in the Archdiocesan Championship. Even though Hayes was awful that day, he played with great bounce, great energy, great passion. Baez from deep hits a big triple.
His second of this quarter. Usually for Hayes, that's a sign that it's contagious. It wasn't that night. But when he is on and when he's playing like he's playing tonight, they are a tough, tough team to beat. 2 bounces off the rim on that three-point attempt by Jackson. Goes out. Fland, the other side. That 3 misses. Here's Gibbs. Fland will try it again, and he'll be fouled by Jackson. It'll be the 5th team foul on Cardinal Hayes.
I do love the way Fland stays within his game. He doesn't get too high. Listen, he's not shooting the ball well tonight, but he doesn't get flustered. He plays hard. He runs back, plays defense. You know, his buddy kind of put one on him couple minutes ago, but he stays within himself, and I think that's going to make him, a great player. He's struggling tonight. ESPN rated 14th, Rivals 10th.
Well, I was going to talk to you. I mean, look, you were a big part of that Felipe Lopez story,
sure.
right? And he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated
sure.
coming out of Rice High School, right?
Yeah.
Unfair expectations. The sophomores in the back page of the New York Post for their NIL, right? The name, image, likeness, it's obviously a new thing
sure.
for high schools.
Sure.
They are the faces, and in many ways, also the faces of this league going forward as sophomores, right? So you kind of hope, again, is this Rice St. Ray's? Maybe it bubbles up a little bit. Maybe these 2 sophomores over the next couple of years, hopefully they both stay where they are, battle and compete, and really make something special out of these 2 teams playing each other.
Yeah, I know this NIL thing is a big deal. Maybe because I'm just old and I look at it and I'm like, okay, you want to do it next year. Jackson win. If it goes this way, he's going to be a champion in the Catholic League. They hadn't won anything yet. They hadn't done anything yet. Yeah, they have a basketball skill set, but I don't know. Listen, who am I to say if some kid can make $60,000, $75,000 to sell shirts and sell energy drinks? I'd go for it too, probably, if I was in high school.
Victory. Oh, what a fake by Victory.
Hey, Dill, I don't know what you're going to put on your piece of paper, but I'm putting DJ Victory as the MVP of this game. There's not a question in my mind. I'm not even going to think twice about it.
12 points for DJ Victory. Awaka, the rebound. Ooh, took a little bit of a shot by Alexander. Both will get techs, and we need cooler heads to prevail here.
Well, Alexander was definitely the initiator. He took a pop at Toby, and Coach Massaroni ran out on the floor right away, got him out right away. If you're Toby, all you have to do is just say, hey, look at the scoreboard, man. We're up 20. I've dominated tonight. And listen, somebody pops you in the chest, you're going to probably take a shot back.
The hit to the head first,
no doubt.
As well, so it's hard to.
Yep.
I agree with you as well, but you kind of understand as well the reaction. So the officials talking it over are in Barfield, Arnold Saunders, and Sean Morgan. We'll have both head coaches here at midcourt. And we'll see what the decision is. Still waiting as the conversation. So Alexander
So both players have been ejected for throwing punches. So gone is Isaiah Alexander, the 6'7", 190-pound senior, and gone is Toby Awakwa, the CHSAA MVP, who was playing a spectacular game tonight. So both players are done for the night.
And again, it's kind of, Is it, what's the definition of a punch? I mean, there was contact. I thought it was a push. But if the officials thought they were punches, they've got to go.
No question. And if they were both underclassmen, they'd have to sit out the first 2 games next year. And if there was a federation tournament, they would not be able to play. But this year, for the 3rd consecutive year, no federation tournament. So for both teams, if their seasons are done in 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
So Awaka, you can see this the disappointment for him, and he's got to actually leave the arena, or at least leave the playing area. Actually, Paul Gilvari. So they'll actually, and I like this decision, Paul. Let him stay, let him be on the bench, let him experience the end of the game.
Well, you don't want them sitting in the locker room by themselves either.
No.
Now, the question is, will this affect Toby Awakwa if everything goes according to plan for being the most valuable player in this game? I'm going to tell you this right now. It has nothing to do with my vote. DJ Victory was getting my vote from about 4 minutes into the game if Cardinal Hayes won. I thought he was spectacular tonight.
All right, so we've got everything hopefully settled here. 69-49 the lead, 3:47 left. Hey, Stepinac certainly out of desperation now, right? Having to pick up full court. And you love Alexander's game, but as Williams finishes inside, I was going to say that's not a trade-off, certainly for Cardinal Hayes, right? Because of Awaka's ability to impact the game the way he does.
I'm going to tell you this right now. He does not have a Division I offer, DJ Victory. He does not. He does not have a lot of college attention, period. If you could get him in the NEC or the MAC with a good 6'8" big man, I'd offer him right on the spot.
So I'll say this about Joe Loads. He said in our preseason talk before their first game against Fordham Prep, we've been fortunate to do almost every home game for Cardinal Hayes this year. He said 2 things. He said Tobe Awaka, he thought, should be the player of the year in the league by the time the season's over. Check that box. He said he thinks by the year's end he'll have 5 Division I players on the court.
He's right.
And DJ being the 5th.
He's right.
He came into the year with a lot of D2 interest. And there is Victory stepping out. It is a special honor to be named MVP of this game. And there's been some incredible players who have done so. There's a look down low. Lytle with the layup.
DJ Victory did not make first, second, or third team All-Catholic League this year.
And a little bit unsettled right now for Hayes. And that could be dangerous when you've got shooters like Carbuccia and Fland and guys who can rebound like Baez. That's a 3 off the mark as well. It has been a tough night for Archbishop Stepinac. Here comes Jackson at Fland. Fland the other way to Gibbs. Gibbs lowers the shoulder, and we're just going up and down. That's a great timeout.
Ooh.
And a little contact there by Baez.
Yeah, Baez with a cheapie right there. Victory does a great job, as he has all night, not buying into it.
Well, they called it on Lytle.
Yeah, good call by the officials. That was definitely on Baez. You take a look at the replay, you'll see it.
And even behind the play there, too. Lytle going at Jackson. We need to calm down. We need to cool down here at the end of this game.
You know who the coolest cat on the floor is? Number 5, man. Nothing bothers him. He got a shot in the chest. He just looked at him and walked away, man. DJ Victory. He's the MVP. That's it. That's it. All right, you mentioned it before. Let's throw some of these names out. Catholic League MVPs. Lou Alcindor. Not pretty bad. Not too bad. Won it 3 years in a row. Kevin Joyce. Just going through. Vern Fleming. Tony Red Bruin. Vern Giscombe. Kenny Anderson 2 years in a row, the late, great Malik Sealy, Khalid Reeves, Jamal Mashburn, Cardinal Hayes, won it with Tom Murray, had those lime green bicycle shorts on that day in 1990 when they won it at Fordham, still one of the best crowds ever.
And wanted to shout out Tom Murray as well. We know that he was watching our last broadcast as well. Coach, hope you're well.
Yep, he's watching today. Kareem Reed, Felipe Lopez, Lamar Odom, Bavon Robin, length of the court for Rice to win the game. Ron Artest, Anthony Glover, Kenny Satterfield. Kenny Satterfield won it 2 years in a row. Julius Hodge, Alan Ray, Shigeri Aline. Really, just a great list. That's what makes this league, the history of this league is what makes the league so special.
So it's an all-tournament team that we vote for, obviously with an MVP as well of the game.
Take a look at this, Dill. Here it goes.
Well,
Let everybody know.
I've got it too.
No, but what? Oh, you wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're copying. Just filling it out here. Paul Gilvari always on us early, let the game finish, but I guess he figures that it's over.
And there you see the hardware that will be presented after this game. We'll have the awards presentation for you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and some cool gear there as well that you get when you are the champion.
My buddy A.J. McCabe, who I work with at the Land Tech Group, his wife Sue, coaches over at St. Francis, just asked me, are you calling a basketball game or a boxing match? I thought it was basketball.
I mean, I joked leading in. The over-under on our references to boxing was 7. You know, the 4th round, heavyweight bout, but we didn't think we'd actually get into it a little bit here as Jackson was called for the foul, his 3rd. Free throw is good. Votes are being tabulated. Ooh, a little bit too much there for Williams into Jackson's hands. And again, Lytle with a little bump to Jackson as Victory goes down, fouled on his way through the lane.
And he has dumped every ounce of energy in his body into this game tonight. I love him. Listen, I don't think the Catholic League is what it was 15, 20 years ago, but this effort tonight is an old school Catholic League effort. The lights were on, shining bright, and he did his thing, and people will remember this performance for a long time. DJ Victory has been an absolute joy to watch. Still, it was worth dusting me off to watch DJ Victory tonight.
Yeah, you go back a couple years, Joe Toussaint, right, did an incredible job. But he did it, if I recall, as an underclassman for Hayes, right? I think a sophomore at the time. To see Victory do it as a senior, and again, everything that kind of comes with it, right? With the COVID and not being able to play for a couple of years, you gotta think. And we'll speak to him after the game, but you got to think when he transfers from St. Francis Prep and's got to sit out a year as Gibbs knocks down the triple, this is what he was hoping for, certainly, when his senior year came to an end.
His basketball career is not done in 1 minute and 25 seconds, I'll tell you that. It's only going to get brighter.
Moore for 3. Rims out. And Fland goes the other way. 1 minute 15 left. Here's Gibbs. He'll have a future in this game as well. Another triple for Gibbs, his 4th of the game. 1 minute left in this one. Elijah Moore with an easy layup. Timeout called by Cardinal Hayes.
I wish we had some stats on assists, because he's definitely double-digit assists. There's no doubt about it. And that's my favorite one of the game. This game is over. He could have gone down there and got – if we can get another look at that, he easily had an uncontested road to the basket. He gave up the ball. That's what most valuable players do. That's the guys who own the spotlight do. And what Coach Loads, because he's not going back to the Bronx tonight, he lives in Long Island, and congratulations to his son, who's at Chaminade, going to Williams next year, a baseball player. But if Coach
and his youngest son is going to go to Malloy next year.
I heard that. I did hear that. But if Joe needs some protection walking to his car from here, leaving the arena at Hofstra, DJ Victory's going to take him because he said he's the toughest dude on this team, man. How about this? First time in Loads' career, they have not named a captain.
Yeah.
They have no captain this year. And, you know, he said when I asked him, and Joe's a different type of cat. He makes us laugh. He's loosey-goosey. I said, keys to the game. He goes, we just have to hope Stepinac has a bad game because they're due for one. And he got his key to the game because Cardinal Hayes played great, and this was by no means Stepinac's A performance at all. This is a basketball team that came in tonight on a 14-game win streak. In that 14-game win streak, had beaten Cardinal Hayes twice, including the Archdiocesan Championship, where Hayes looked awful. Their 3 losses this year by a combined 6 points. So nobody saw this coming.
And Cardinal Hayes, a little bit of a revenge tour, if you will. Will Daniel Garfias get in the book? Yes, he will. But they avenged the loss to St. Francis Prep. That was one of their 3 losses in the regular season.
Sure.
The other 2 were to Stepinac. And they have just about done that. Sam Gibbs getting a big hug for Pat Massaroni. The right arm raised. Tim Philp is excited. We are just about there. Cardinal Hayes. Garfias, the senior. There's no such thing as a walk-on in high school, but that's the equivalent of it. And Cardinal Hayes has defeated Archbishop Stepinac. They are your 2022 CHSAA Class AA intersectional champions. Cardinal Hayes won it in 1944 in the AA. They won it again in 1990, led by Jamal Mashburn. A couple of A championships sprinkled in 2001 and 2007. 2017, with Joe Toussaint leading the way, they defeated Archbishop Malloy. And now in an all-Archdiocesan championship game, Cardinal Hayes are champions again.
Really, aside from that one little altercation involving Toby, they played the perfect basketball game. They played faster, they played stronger, they played smarter, and they had the best player on the floor tonight. You can take Jackson, you can take Fland, take the Catholic League Player of the Year. Those guys all had moments tonight, but nobody stepped to the stage like DJ Victory. We're going to say 5'7". And the senior guard waited a long time after he transferred from St. Francis Prep. You talked about it. Sat out his sophomore year. Last year, not really a season. And when the light shined the brightest, the little big man stole the show.
Had 12 points in the game, but as you mentioned, no doubt 8, 9, if not 10 assists in this one was phenomenal. And it's the way that you'd want a senior point guard to play in his final high school game.
Had fun, smiling, playing with passion, enthusiasm, very few turnovers. So we're talking about unofficially double-digit assists. I can remember 1 turnover in this game. I think one of the things you saw is that senior leadership. When he took the shot in the chest, he just walked away, man. There's no bigger infliction of pain than the scoreboard. And the reason that they won tonight was because, well, in large part, DJ Victory.
He was phenomenal. The all-tournament team is being introduced to the crowd here at Hofstra. And you see the celebration there. Christian Jeffries from Bishop Lachlan. Jaden Daughtry from St. Francis Prep also making the all-tournament team. Ian Jackson makes the all-tournament team as well. First team all-CHSAA as well. Boogie Fland also. He wasn't a first-team selection, but he missed half the year.
Sure, missed 14 games.
With that back injury. Sam Gibbs. And Awaka also named, so I think we're right. I'm not sure how many votes they had and how much we slanted the vote, but the MVP chants are coming up right now for DJ Victory. It's stories like this, Mike, that I think why you love high school sports, you love covering the Catholic League, is it's not the most decorated guy, right? It's the guy who works the hardest on the day, who look at a smile.
The smile
there
is beautiful.
As well.
It's just beautiful. With Ray Nash and Kevin Pickett. Look at that smile, man. He'll remember this for the rest of his life. Tim Philp giving him the big hug. Joe Lodes giving him the big hug. You earned it, young man. You earned it.
Let's see what this does for him as well. Going forward, again, a young man who wants to play Division I basketball. I think he's earned an opportunity somewhere. How many Division I schools are there out there?
Enough to find him.
Right?
The win was nice. The victory was sensational.
I like that. That should be on a shirt somewhere.
I was thinking it.
So Stepinac, look, heads have to be held high, right? 26-4 is the final record, a third straight appearance in the Catholic League championship game. And again, I think the culture is very, very good. That, maybe it started with Tim Philp. It certainly continued with Pat Massaroni, and they're going to be good for a long time.
Oh, they are. Listen, they're not a team, they're a program. There's a lot of teams in high school sports. There's very few programs. Stepinac is a program. What Massaroni has done in his 7 years is sensational. And they have young kids coming back. They're going to be around in this league for a long time. Yeah, they feel bad now. They'll feel bad for the next couple of days. They'll get back in that gym and they'll be like, all right, let's go get one in 2023.
You mentioned it before, and I guess it's worth repeating. It's just a shame that there is no Federation championship, that you couldn't find a way, right? Maybe even have it here, right? If it's not going to be at Fordham, because of Lehigh misses out, right? And that game against Hayes this year was a fantastic game as well up in Monroe. College of New Rochelle, you wish they would play again. So.
And the way Mount Vernon is playing, Bobby Semino's Knights took apart North Rockland the other night, so it would be fun. The Federation was a lot of fun those years in Glens Falls, a couple years in Albany, and it was finally going to move down here, and it never got the opportunity because of COVID.
It's a shame. And now the Cardinals are being introduced. It's a season that started literally the day after the Catholic Football Championships. That Sunday afternoon when they renamed that beautiful new court they have off the Grand Concourse for John Duffy, and they defeated Fordham Prep on that day by a score of 69-49, and it started from there for Cardinal Hayes, and the run here ends with another city championship.
You called so many of their games this year. And congratulations to the president of the school, Mike Carey, just a phenomenal guy, just a terrific guy to be around. The school's so lucky they're being led by Mike Carey. Did this team get better? Is this team decidedly better than they were back in December? Now listen, they played the perfect game tonight, but did you see them constantly getting better, game in and game out?
I saw them getting better here from the quarterfinals to the semifinals. The Archdiocese game was a concern, right? Which you saw, which was their worst game of the year. I think early on they were a team, as now here comes the head coach and his associate head coach. I think they were a flashy team that liked to get their highlights early. They turned into a team that wanted to get a championship and doing the things that they needed to do to win a championship. As there you see, Tim Philp and Joe Loads getting the hardware.
And thanks to Fordham, thanks to Hofstra, because, as you mentioned earlier, Dylan, Fordham couldn't play the game there. I know Eddie Cull would have loved to, and what a job Kyle Neptune has done this year at Fordham in his first year. They lost to Davidson today, but they got one yesterday in the A-10, so that's terrific. They couldn't do it at St. John's. Christ the King had offered up their gym, but it was nice. I mean, it's different being here. It's really different. It's a beautiful facility that Speedy Claxton and Jay Wright built. But, it's funny. This is a gym on Long Island, but so much of this gym has Catholic League roots in it because of what Speedy Claxton did. And there's the president, Mike Carey.
John Duffy next to him as well.
Oh, the Duff's a great guy. He's just a terrific guy. Loves Cardinal Hayes. Loves everything Hayes is about.
And also Sal Annunziata, we have to give him a shout-out as well, the athletic director.
Came over from Regis.
Yeah, former baseball guy. I covered him back at Fordham Prep as a baseball guy. He was fantastic there for the Rams, and he's done a great job as well, and we appreciate them kind of having us along a little bit for this ride here that culminates with another Catholic League championship.
Well, the alumni base of Cardinal Hayes is very strong. They're everywhere. They love this school. And that's going to look nice back over there on the Grand Concourse. First one since 2017.
Yeah, that game, and like so many of the others, was played at Rose Hill. And remember that Cole Anthony drive late like it was yesterday, and Joe Loads having come so close, losing a couple of those A championships to Tommy Frere's Mount St. Michael Mountaineers, and he felt that monkey or that gorilla, I think, at that point off his back in the AA championship, and I think he can enjoy this one maybe a little bit more.
I hope so. He's as loose as he is. He's kind of nervous, but just so much fun stopping by both schools yesterday. Coach Massaroni gave me so much of his time over there at Stepinac. Then I rolled in there to Cardinal Hayes. Impossible finding parking, but we found it over there in that MTA lot. And Coach was great. He makes me laugh. He's probably a fun guy to play for.
I would think so. I mean, he's a fun guy to cover for us, that's for sure. And we need to, I think, one thing we need to do here at Varsity Media is maybe do a mashup of all his halftime interviews that we've had, because they were stuff of legend. And we're going to have him join our John Perez here as the victorious head coach of Cardinal Hayes. Joe Loads joins John Perez now.
Coaches, they're celebrating down at the other end. You mentioned the first city championship. You got to exhale. Thank goodness you won that one. Now that you've won number 2, what are the feelings?
How awesome of a sight is that, watching the Hayes kids go crazy in the middle of the floor. Look at that. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. It's just great. I don't know what to say. Usually I have something to say. I try to have something prepared. I have nothing to say. I'm just overjoyed for Hayes and our 28,000 alumni strong.
Hey, Perez, let me ask Loads a question. You've come a long way from a graduate assistant where you were picking gum off the seats after the game to make some money here at Hofstra for Coach McCord. True story, right?
True story. Myself and my good buddy Jared Grasso, head coach at Bryan, I hope he's watching. He's headed off to the NCAA tournament. But I have some guys I think I could help them next year, maybe. Tariq Foster, Tobe Alaka. We got some good guys. My little point guard, DJ Victory. I mean, talk about an under-recruited player. I mean, he's got so much heart. I used to scrape gum off these seats. I did. Me and Grasso would be cursing the whole time, and he used to tell me, one day I'm going to be a Division I head coach, and I said, that's BS. And now he is.
Yeah, but he never won a championship on the Hofstra floor.
No, I'm sorry, Coach McCord. A lot of long years.
It was a long year, to say the least, for your guys, and they looked really into it towards the end of the game. Sighs of relief, smiles all around. When you put this group together at the beginning of this year, I know that this was a goal. Now that you're here, though, to see it on their faces, your thoughts?
The kids, it's just so many practices. It's so much time. It's just grueling, the Catholic League, because there's so many good teams, and there's so much time, and there's so many things that could go wrong. but none of it matters right now. And we're just in the moment right now, and there's a beer waiting for me somewhere. That's for sure.
And I have to ask, too, your associate head coach, Tim Phil, what about the job that he's done for you, not just this year, but overall?
You know, Tim's not my associate head coach. Me and Tim, we coach it together, man. He's a brother to me. He does a great job. He's the brains. I'm the hair, he's the brains. That's what I tell him all the time. I'm the hair, he's the brains. He's the best. He's fantastic. You know, I'm glad we played Stepinac because years ago when I was a young guy and I was still happily married, we played Stepinac in the championship and Tim beat me. So I said, Timmy, today you got to help me beat Stepinac and we'll call it even. And he did. We were ready, and I'm so grateful to Tim. And I'm just going to tell my wife, I love you. I hope you're watching.
Hey, Joe, she didn't come again. So she's now, 13 years, she's only come one time, right?
She's 1-0. She's batting 1,000. She's batting 1,000. But you know what? I don't want to say I know what I'm doing, but I spoke to a very professional, very high-level guy in my office the other day, and I told him I thought Stepinac was sitting on a bad one. I said, I think they are. I said, you're young kids. You just can't win that many in a row. Once in a while, I'm right. Not at the racetrack, but once in a while, I'm right. Here we are.
It was an interesting key to the game, but you were right, Coach.
Yes, where's my trophy? Holy Christ.
Well, I'll let you get to your trophy.
Yeah,
Let's bring your
MVP.
Hand
it off
my
to
MVP.
There you go.
The best.
We go from one of the best in Joe Loads to the best tonight, DJ Victory. What a journey it's been for you. St. Francis Prep, you're out a year, COVID, now a champion. When you put it all together, what's going through your mind?
I mean, it was a hard thing to do. I had to sit out a year, watch my teammates play, and I wanted to be out there, but unfortunately I couldn't. So this year, I had to bring it home.
What is it about this group that even though you guys were put against the canvas, against Stepinac and the Archdiocesan, you were able to come together in the intersectionals and win a title?
After watching the game and seeing what we did wrong, we practiced hard, we made sure everything that we did was right, and today we got the W.
For you, what was working so well for you?
Just getting off the dribble. I know I'm fast, so I have to use my speed to advantage, get my shots off and make sure my teammates is good for their shots and then make it.
Now, I'm sure your basketball career is not over, but the last game in Cardinal Hayes is a victory. What are you going to remember about this program and this year?
I mean, it's hard to name one thing, but Cardinal Hayes is really a special place, and I'm just going to miss everything about it.
DJ Victory, the victory in the biggest game of the year. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, John. Congratulations to DJ, to Coach Loads, all the Hayesmen out there. It is a collective, collaborative celebration here tonight. We'll share something here with you too, Mike. Is again, these were some of the words in the preseason where Joe Loads said about expectations. He said, look, we're not going to sugarcoat it. If we don't win a city championship, it is a disappointment because of the players that he had, because of everyone involved, and obviously they ended with a championship. DJ Victory was a big part of it, as was Tobe Awaka, who's courtside now with John Perez.
Yeah, here's Tobe Awaka, one of the seniors on this Cardinal Hayes program. When you look back at this year, these last 18 months, you win Player of the Year. You guys are now back fully. What are the words that you could use to describe it?
It's great. It was just a great team effort. I think the coaches did a great job of putting our teammates in the right positions to be successful. And then we as players, we were just, we believed in each other. We made the right plays unselfishly, playing as a team as a whole. We believed in each other, and we were just able to stick it out.
The other day, you said that you felt that you were overlooked this year. As the Player of the Year, how much of a chip on your shoulder did you have on you coming into this championship bout?
I had a major chip in my game, but I knew that for us to be successful, my teammates were going to back me throughout the whole way. Same thing with the coaches, and although I played a good game, I think cohesively as a team we played great, passing the ball, sharing the ball, playing team defense, not making silly mistakes, anything like that, and just backing each other up and stuff that rough.
Now, technical aside, those final 3 minutes as it's starting to count down and you know that the victory is coming, what's going through your mind?
I was just so happy. I was just glad that I was able to share the experience with my teammates, my coaches, our great fans, supporters and all that, and it was just a great moment.
Johnny, let me ask the big guy a question.
Yeah.
Toby, Mike Quick, congratulations, man.
What's going on?
Hey, you're coming in here from Hyde Park every day, upstate New York, 90 miles round trip. You never missed a day of school. Did you ever wake up and said, man, I just don't have it in the tank today, I'm going to stay home?
A few times, but I think it's just a credit to my parents. They kept on pushing me, even when I didn't want to, go out and take the train, walk to school, all that. They kept on pushing me, encouraging me that, there's only 2 years left, 1 year left, only a few months left. And, it's just a credit to them and their supporting me.
Well, your parents have a great young man. Remember, next time, just remember, first punch, walk away. All right, you're good. All right, scoreboard's the biggest inflictor of pain. Remember that, big guy.
Got you.
All right, pal.
And I'd imagine, too, it's got to be an easy and now happier commute to and from school for the rest of this year.
Oh, no, definitely. Knowing that, coming into the season, goal was to win the city championship. Now that we fulfilled it, it's just a great feeling. Definitely makes the commute towards the end of this year much easier.
Well, Toby, I'll let you enjoy it with your teammates. Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mike, Dylan?
Guy sounds like Barry White.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a career in basketball.
What a voice.
Perhaps as well in singing, right?
Oh, my God, what a voice. Well, I tell you what, some people, when they're born, they get it all. And he got it all.
I will say, so Joe Loads is the comedian, right, of the coaches, the co-head coaches. Tim Philp is the guy who's, again, he's got his imprint on both programs, right? And what he did to get Stepinac on the map, and now obviously helping lead Cardinal Hayes to a championship. He's with our John Perez now courtside.
Tim, second championship for you guys in this decade. When you look back at this group, what made it so special?
We've got a lot of seniors, and last year it was tough because of COVID for everybody, obviously, but the way these guys came together, because a lot of them don't have varsity basketball experience with the exception of Tobey, so the way they came together collectively throughout the year was great.
They had a lot of adversity, obviously losing in the Archdiocesan final.
Yep.
They put it together in the intersectional. What did you and Joe cook up together to get this team back on board and win this championship?
We just kept emphasizing to them just to play together, play for each other. You get 32 minutes, because we've had a tendency this year to go in spurts. We put together 2 really good quarters and then kind of dip a little bit, but toward the end we really put it together for almost 32 minutes. Tonight, definitely 32 minutes.
As a coach, when the time is winding down, what's going through your head? I'm sure there's some sigh of relief there.
Just let the clock run and let's get out of here. Yeah, I kept looking up at the clock. Let's get out of here.
One last question here, too. When you look back at this group as a whole, I know that you've coached a lot of student athletes. What makes this group so special?
Again, a lot of seniors, and they just pretty much the whole season, but toward the middle and the end of the season, they just really played for each other.
All right,
so it was great.
I'll let you go celebrate.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on
You
the
got
win.
it.
Congratulations on the win.
You got Captain Jack?
We're going to get Captain Jack in here right now. And Ian, we're still live. Congratulations on the win. When the clock strikes 0, what's going through your mind?
A whole bunch of different emotions. Being able to share this moment with my teammates. Good emotions, sad emotions. My seniors, that's going to be gone next year. Not being able to have them on the team next year. It's definitely a hard thing to face, but I'm glad we had to share this moment. The last game, we won the chip, we pulled it out.
What does it mean to win this championship for those 2 seniors, and how much have they helped you grow as a player?
It means a lot. They helped me definitely in practice. Me being young, they showed me everything I'm supposed to do from right to wrong. They let me build through my mistakes, and they had trust in me. I'm glad that I had them as 2 seniors to guide me.
Now that you've got the championship experience, looking forward, are we looking at a potential Hayes dynasty here?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looking to come back and win 2 more championships. That's the plan.
All right. We'll let it go. Ian Jackson, thank you very much for the time. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right.
Thanks, John, and congratulations again to the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes.
Johnny Perez did a great job tonight on the sideline. Really good.
He did.
He has come such a long way as an announcer. It's great to see. And, buddy, you're terrific.
Well, thank
No,
you for
you
that.
really are.
I got
A
a
lot of
text
fun.
this morning from Chris Alisi.
I saw that.
said John Perez is the real star of this whole operation.
I saw that, yeah.
So he certainly has some love there from the Alisi family, and that means a lot as well. That'll do it here, I think, from Hofstra. Mike, first time having this opportunity, really grateful to have you next to me during this journey, so thank you for that.
Well, listen, I had to bail you out. You know, you work with the guy, Raph, on the lacrosse show. I said, you got to get somebody professional at least sometime during March, April, and May. You're the best, Dill. Hey, listen, New York City, they're lucky to have you back doing this. Nobody covered high school sports in the city like you did, and the city misses it. You know, it's sad. We were talking about it. We're looking out here. There's nobody here. There's nobody from New York City here covering the game from a newspaper. It's sad. It's sad. It really is.
So for Mike Quick, John Perez, our entire crew here at the Varsity Media Sports Network, thank you for joining us again. Your final score, Cardinal Hayes are your 2022 CHSAA champions, 79-59 win over Archbishop Stepinac. You've been watching the CHSAA Class AA Intersectional Championship presented by Maspeth Federal Savings on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.